Welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on KCBQ 1170 The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty, joined as always by Mr. Jason Hall with Team Home Loans. We were talking earlier today with Nathan Craig, the health insurance specialist with Lundy Insurance Services. And before the break, Mr. Sean Locklear, the Eastlake specialist with the Whissel Realty team. And so we talk about this on the show a lot, that the market's hot right now. And when homes hit the market for sale, they are gone extremely quick. I mean, we just listed one down in Eastlake Greens, right on the golf course, and multiple offers. We were on the market a week, and we've already had multiple offers on that home. We're going into escrow today.
Perfect.
So homes are going extremely quick in this market. So one of the things we want to bring value to you as a listener here of Whissel Wednesdays, we want to give you access to homes before they hit the market, before anybody else knows about them, because that is the best way to get a deal on a house right now. Because once these homes hit the market, a lot of times we're getting multiple offers. The price is getting bid up. It becomes very difficult to win out in those competitions. So we want to help you get early access to these homes before anybody else. So what we've got for you today, do you want to talk about the house a little bit?
Absolutely.
Talk about the
that one you
community
just
that
snagged?
it's in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great community over in the villas. I think it's a beautiful community, those little condos that you got right there. And, it's right on the water over by the lake. It's beautiful. You got a clubhouse, all kinds of parks around that area. And it's priced pretty well, and I think you did the right thing in letting the owner know that she needs to make a few changes to make the property sell for the highest and best. So I think it was a great property.
So what are we talking about? Square footage?
So what we got here, it's
bathrooms?
1,344 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. So
2.5 baths. There's more baths than there's bedrooms.
There are. So it's two-story, and then you've got, it's very spacious. So 1,344 square feet is big for a 2-bedroom.
So it's like 2 master bedrooms type of thing?
Yeah. So it's great. The whole downstairs, you got a kitchen, you got you have a formal dining and an eat-in kitchen. And then upstairs, you basically have 2 master bedrooms, which is beautiful. So really good, especially if you're in a roommate situation. You guys can share something. Each of you have your own master. Has a huge patio, 2-car garage. And then again, like Sean was saying, there's actually a lake. Most people don't know this, but in Eastlake, there's a lake right in the middle of Eastlake.
That's where it all started.
What's
That's
cool,
you
you could go fishing there. They got little paddle boats that you can take out, and it's only open to residents of Eastlake Shores.
Yes,
so
sir.
you can go out and just cruise around with your kids on the weekend. It's just a really cool community. So this home, we're listed at $360,000, 2-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage, patio, newer construction, beautiful community right on the lake. So if you're interested in that home, reach out to us. I'll connect you with Sean, who can get you access to that home before it ever hits the market and anybody else knows about it. 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. So Jason.
Yes, sir.
You're our loan expert
Yes,
here
sir.
on the show. Our Charger expert as
Carson
well.
Charger, yeah.
Love it. And one of the things that you do that I've always appreciated, we've worked together for over 10 years, and one of the things I've appreciated about you as a lender is that you go above and beyond what most lenders do. A lot of other lenders, if somebody calls them and is having credit issues, their credit's not where it needs to be, most lenders will be like, yeah, you got to work on your credit and then come talk to me. They're not going to help somebody out. They wait till people are ready. It's kind of like they're cherry picking their deals, and they're not really doing what's best for the client. They're doing what's best for themselves, and they just want the easy deals. But that's where you're different. I've seen you sit down with people and look at their credit report, and you might have somebody with a 580 credit score, that's miles away from buying a home, but you'll actually sit down with them, review the credit report, help them go through that thing line by line by line, figuring out what's the best thing to pay off, what to pay off, what not to pay off, how to move money around, what's important, what's not, what can they do to improve it, what, should they ask for an increase here, should they get rid of this. And it's amazing. And I've seen you do that with people. And we've had guests here on the show that you've helped out where they started with a credit score. Most lenders would have just kicked them to the curb and moved on to the next. And you've actually sat down and helped people get their credit repaired, get them on tracking, ultimately get them into home ownership. So I've always appreciated that about you. And that's just not something normal. And again, if you want to connect with Jason and, work with him on your credit, he can do that. He's not a credit expert. He doesn't charge you anything for this.
He's been doing it 20 plus years. I've seen what credit scores do, and most consumers don't know what's going to impact their score. And I know that's the article you found here today.
Yeah, so I want to talk about this. Again, if you want to connect with Jason, he'll pull a credit report for you, no charge.
No charge.
Sit down with you, review it. 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. Jason will sit down with you, review your credit. So I found a really cool article, and it's 9 things that surprisingly won't affect your credit. So I think there's a lot of unknowns when it comes to people's credit scores. So there were some really interesting things on this list, and that don't necessarily make sense. You know, when you're giving somebody a loan on a house, you would think that some of these things might actually make a difference in their credit score, but they don't.
It might make a difference on the loan, but it may not make a difference on their credit score. So I know the biggest thing that comes up a lot, especially with couples, is how come her credit score or his credit score is higher when I make more money?
Exactly.
And I know that's one of the things on the list.
Number one on the list.
Number one? Number one on the list.
How much money you make has zero bearing on your credit score.
Absolute zero bearing, because it's not how much money you make on your credit score. It's how do you manage your credit. So I've literally met homeless guys with 800 credit scores.
Wow.
Right? Literally homeless. They just went off the deep end. Something happened, but their credit was always paid on time. They, everything was good, and I couldn't believe it. And I've met guys making over $1 million a year with scores in the 400 or 500s because they just don't care about credit. And they're like, well, I make plenty of money, and I'll get to it when I get to it. And I'm like, you could save like, I don't know, $100,000 for your bank's, your company's interest if you just hired a gal to pay her like $30,000 a year to like pay your bills. Actually got a client to do that. He finally took my advice.
Awesome.
That was years ago. But those are people out there that really think it's just income driven, but it has absolutely nothing to do with your income.
Definitely. And number 2 on the list is your net worth.
Yeah.
So your net worth also has no bearing on that credit score. So you could own, a multi-million-dollar mansion. You could own a yacht with a helicopter, on the back of it.
But
That's
if
not
you're
going to
not
help your
paying
credit
your-
score.
if you're not
it
paying
could
your credit
actually
on time,
hurt your
it
credit
could
score
hurt.
if all those things are financed.
Yeah, but it'd look cool.
We're all thinking that'd be kind of cool. But yeah,
Right.
so your net worth has no impact at all on your credit score. What's the next one?
Number
we got
3 on the list, a degree from an Ivy League school, somewhere prestigious, or the lack thereof. They don't care about your education.
No, not on your credit score. Even no bank can even look at really that and care about that anymore. So, so there's nothing. No matter what school you go to, they can't discriminate because that their credit score is definitely not going to pick that up.
Number 4 on the list, debit cards. People might think that having a debit card is actually going to benefit them and their credit score, but your debit card is as good as using cash.
Right.
It is not reported to the credit bureaus. It's not doing anything bad for your score, but at the same time, it's not doing anything good for your score.
Right. So here's a great tip. If you've got credit cards you don't use, I tell everybody, use it at least once a quarter. So every 3 months, use a card, go ahead, pump your gas, pay it when you get home so you don't forget, and then go ahead and rotate that card to another card. If you stop using these credit cards that you have, you no longer get credit on your credit score for them. After about 12 months, you get like 0. So that's a good habit. If you're listening right now, if you have open, active credit cards, go ahead and use them every 3 months and just rotate. If you got, say, 3 of them, just rotate them every once in a while and just do one purchase. You don't have
You
to
could
get
literally
carried
just
away.
go buy a Starbucks cup
Yep.
of coffee
Yep.
once a quarter, once a month, whatever it is, pay it off just so that it's reporting that it's an
That's
active line.
unbelievable.
Yeah, just stuff like
Something
that.
so simple.
Something like that takes people, say, from maybe a 740 to 800.
Wow.
Number 5 on the list, paying rent and other bills on time.
Yeah, 0 impact on your credit score. We're going to look at it as additional credit if you have no credit, but in your actual credit score, no matter whether you're paying your bills on or your utility bills and your rent, has 0 impact unless you get taken a court or something on those.
Love it. So those are the top 5. I've got 4 more on this list. If you want to get a copy of this list of the 9 things that surprisingly won't affect your credit, give us a call or shoot us a text here at Whissel Wednesdays, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-SELL, and just send us the word top 9. So Jason, what's the credit score that's required right now for the different loan options that are out there? I mean, let's say somebody wants to buy this home down at the villas at East Lake Shores that we were talking about. What are the options?
Yeah, generally,
as
generally speaking, you're going to want to be a 620 score or above, typically, to get into anything. We do have some products here at Team Home Loans or Branch of Synergy One Lending that we now can go down to 580. So I have a client right now that's an escrow. We've got an approval. They have a 592 credit score on an FHA, like $500,000 loan. So you can, if you're in that 580 to 620, go down there. but you're not going to get the lowest rate. Right? We all want the lowest rate. We want to have our closing costs paid for. That's one of the added benefits we do at Team Home Loans. We'll pay our closing costs on an FHA and VA loan. But if your credit score is below 620, we're probably not going to be able to make that happen because that investor is being very picky, and they're going to take that profit because they're going to go ahead and bank that loan. So that's some of the difference on that, Kyle.
So essentially, a 620 is right around that magic number of where you want to be at or above. Can a loan get done under 620? Yes. Gets a little bit more difficult, a little hairy at that point. But 620 scored better. Jason can get you into a loan. If you need help with credit, again, shoot us a text. Give us a call, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. Jason will sit down with you, review your credit report free of charge, help get you on track to getting into home ownership. So Sean over here can find you the perfect home, and Nathan over here can make sure that you got the right insurance to protect you and your family. Thank you so much for listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on KCBQ. We'll see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Whistle, baby, let me know. Girl, I'm gonna show you how to do it, and we start real slow.